I've got something really great for you. I know many of you have seen this already, and I want to make sure that everyone sees this. I know one of the biggest struggles with life insurance, with voiceover artists is actually doing the endless auditions. Um, Staying in your booth, staying in your studio all day, all night, hoping that you're going to get a gig, hoping that someone's going to hire you. It's one of those things that we all struggle and we all have faced. And I'm here to let you know there's an easier way, there's a way out. And it's what I'm going to be talking about on the webinar. It's right here. I want you to register for it. It's tomorrow, the 10th of December. It's the last webinar I'll be doing this year. I've done maybe two or three this year. This will be the third and the last one that I do. And it is going to show you some amazing things. You guys know I come to and I'm here for the voiceover artist that is stuck, struggling. They're not growing fast enough. They need to understand the business development end of this whole thing. It's far beyond your microphone and your interface and your DAW, your plugins. This is about business development. And it's one of those skill sets that, artists don't normally have. We know how to do what we know how to do, but when it comes to actually building a business around that, even if you're outstanding, you're good. If you don't know how to get the client, you're pretty much in hot water. Hey, Rob, how you doing, man? Glad to have you in the house with us today. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, we got Tanya over here as well. Thank you for being here, Tanya. Love you so much. Thanks so much. Look, the webinar is tomorrow. You got to get in on it. There is limited space. It's limited to 200. I'm up to 177 people registered already for this webinar tomorrow. If you have not registered, go there and register now. Because look, you can keep doing this the way that you've been doing it, obviously, right? You can keep being on the pay to plays, endless auditioning. You can continue to be on the gig platforms. Nothing wrong with either one of those things. But if you want to punch this up, if you want to learn how to really build a business, if you want to know how to have clients coming after you instead of you chasing them, this is a webinar you cannot miss. I want you to be there for many very specific reasons. We're going to be talking about your gear. We're going to be talking about even your mindset. Sometimes it's a whole mindset thing. It can really trouble you. I mean, let me know. How do you feel about audition after audition after audition? Especially if you're on the pay to plays. You might, start off strong on Monday, but by Wednesday, it's a little bit iffy, right? Your mental state is a little bit gone. We're going to talk about some of that, how to get through that. I'm going to talk about if you are on these different sites, the pay to plays, the gig sites, how you can manipulate them, what you're going to have to do to actually get the work you're trying to get. Some of you are completely doing this wrong. I want to make sure that you start doing it right. And I want to make sure that you have every opportunity to win. Hey, Jay, glad to have you in here. Thanks so much. Jay, Tanya, Robert, did you register for the webinar that's tomorrow? Did you register for that already? I hope you did. If not, it's right on the screen. Go there now and register, earlhallmarketing.com/voiceover-webinar. And look, it can be a hard process. I've been in for over a decade now. It took me almost 7 years to figure this out. Now, if you want to take the next 7 years to figure it out like it took me, be my guest. But why do that when I can literally show you the step-by-step process of how to get this done? Who wants to know that? Do you want to know the step-by-step process to get this done? Yes? Yes? Anyone? This is the thing. There are so many questions that VOs have centered around, and it's mostly, what's funny is when you talk about business development to voiceover artists in particular, like I do, it's always centered around gear. It's centered around the environment. It's centered around the DAW. It's like, yeah, all of that is important, but none of that has a thing to do with building your business. I'll let you know, Rob. I'll see you on the webinar, my friend. those things are must-haves, right? You've got to understand your mic, your DAW, your interfaces, your plugins. That's just a given. But you can have all of that stuff set up to the nines. I mean, completely set up the way it's supposed to be set up. And if you don't know the number one thing that you need to know, none of that amounts to a hill of beans. And the number one thing that a VO needs to know is how to get the client. There are VOs that understand marketing to a degree that they'll have a lesser quality mic than you. They'll have a lesser quality interface. They'll be using free software like Audacity, cheap plugins, but they're making more money than you because they understand the marketing piece to this. They understand the business development piece to this. You need to get this. You need to know this. This is important because if you're looking to build a sustainable career in this industry, if you're looking to actually build a business, you can see me looking off to the side here. If you actually want to know how to build a business, that's where the rubber meets the road. Flat out. It's where the rubber meets the road. And if you don't quite understand how to do that, it's time that you learn. And I want to show you in a very simple way how you can accomplish these things. So if you want to know these business development strategies, if you want to know how to actually take your art, your voiceover artist, you may know your art, but have no clue how to build a business. In 2021, we need to change that because that is where the rubber meets the road. Anyone can buy a mic. Anyone can purchase a DAW. Anyone can learn how to use plugins, how to do EQ, how to do noise reduction, how to do compression, how to do normalization. Anyone can learn that. The people that succeed are not always the best VOs. They're the best business developers. Register for the webinar right now, www.earlhallmarketing.com/voiceoverwebinar. The webinar is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. on the West Coast. Register now. Like I said, only 200 spots available. 177 are gone. Register now. And I'll see you on the webinar tomorrow. Thanks so much, Robert. I appreciate you. The future is definitely bright. I'll see you on the webinar tomorrow. You take care.